Statistics is basically the study of collection, analysis, interpretation, presentation and organization of a data. The tabular representation we are doing of the data. In 9th standard, we have learned about the collection of the data of a ungrouped frequency distribution table and for a group frequency distribution table. We have also learned to find the central tendency, the measures of central tendency of mean, median and mode for a ungrouped data. In 10th standard, we will learn to find mean, median, mode or for a group data. Now we know that there are three measures of central tendency. Let's start with the mean. So mean is the sum of the values of all observation divided by total number of observation. We know that is the total that is sum of the observation divided by total number of observation. We do it for a ungrouped data. Now in the case of a group data, how do we find mean? So here if we say that if x1, x2, x3. Now what is this 1, 2, 3? They are the subscript which decides the position. That is the first observation, second observation, third observation. So we have so on like n observation and the frequency. So f1 is corresponding to x1, f2 is corresponding to x2, f3 is corresponding to x3 and so on. So if it is repeating, so frequencies is how many times? So x1 is occurring f1 times, x2 is occurring f2 times, x3 f3 times and so on. Then to calculate the sum of the observation, so we multiply. So x1 is occurring f1 times, so f1 x1. So the sum of the values of the observation will be f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus f3 x3 dot 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 plus fn xn. And total observation is nothing but f1 plus f2 plus f3 dot 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 fn. So in this case, for a group data, if I want to find out the mean, so the mean will be here x bar equals to f1 x1 plus f2 x2 plus f3 x3 plus fn xn upon f1 plus f2 plus f3 dot 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 fn. So the mean is denoted by x bar, which can be written in the form of, this sign is called as sigma or summation. So summation I equal to 1 to n, that is fi xi upon summation fi. This I equal to 1 to n is actually, that means from the first observation there are total n observation. Similarly there are n observations. So the formula for the mean is x bar equals to summation I equal to 1 to n fi xi upon summation fi. So this can also be written as I equal to 1 to n fi xi upon I equal to 1 to n. Here we have summation fi. This is the formula for mean for direct method. So we start with exercise 14.1. First question. A survey was conducted by a group of students as a part of their environment awareness program, in which they collected the following data regarding the number of plants in 20 houses in a locality. Find the number of plants per house. Which method did you use for finding mean and why? There are three methods for finding mean. One is direct method, second is assume mean method, third is step deviation method. Now here in this year we are going to learn only about two methods. Now since if the observations are small, then we can very well go by direct method. In all the three methods, the one thing which is very important is you have to find the class mark, because it is for a group data. So for a group data, class mark you have to find. Class mark is nothing but xi, and we find the class mark by adding the upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So when we add upper limit and lower limit and we divide by 2, we get the class mark. So for all the that is to find mean by all the three methods, the first thing we require is xi. For direct method, we require 4 columns. We want 4 columns, and you all know just now, so the formula is x bar equals to summation fi xi upon summation fi. Here the question, number of plants 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, and here the corresponding frequencies are given. Number of houses are nothing but the frequencies, that is fi, and here the classes are given. So for this, since it is a group data, it is an exclusive type. It is an continuous group data. First we will find out the class mark. Class mark means SI. So what is the class mark here? So the first class mark is 0 plus 2 divided by 2. So we know 0 to 2 the midpoint is 1. Here 2 to 4 3. So we need to find the class mark and then we multiply with frequency and find FIXI. So just see here. So we have number of plans 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6 here. Correspondingly we have found out frequencies are given. So the important, we found out the midpoint XI, that is from 2 to 0 to 2. The midpoint is 1, 2 to 4 3, 4 to 6 5, 7, 9, 11, 13. So midpoint we have found. The next column is FIXI, where we multiply FI into XI. So 1 into 1 is 1, 2 into 3 is 6, 1 into 5 is 5, 5 7s are 35, 6 9s are 54, 2 11s are 22, 3 into 13 is 39. We find the sum, that is this sum is nothing but summation FIXI, which we wrote it symbolically, that is 162. Similarly here summation Fi is given as 20. So when we sum up we get 20 and here we got 162. So we all know the formula, that is mean is summation FIXI upon summation Fi. That is here x bar equals to 162 upon 20. So we get 8.1. Therefore, the mean number of plants per house is 8.1. So here we are going to do the next sum. The following distribution of daily wages of 50 workers of a factory. Find the mean daily wages of factory by using an appropriate method. Now here we know that direct method is useful when the numbers are small. Here the observation is of 3 digits. So we can go by the next method, that is standard deviation method. In all the 3 methods, mean XI is important, that is class mark. And then what we do, this basically is derived, this method is derived from the direct method just to reduce this XI so that our calculation becomes easier. So first we will find XI, and you all know XI we found, that is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2, we get XI. After getting XI, we are reducing this XI further one step ahead so that it will come to a reduced form and the calculation becomes easy. So here we see the daily wages. Here it's written. So first the midpoint is found out. So here correspondingly it is written so that we don't do mistakes. So XI is nothing but upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. 120 plus 100, that is 230 divided by 2. So here 220 divided by 2, that is 110. Again here we get 260. So 260 divided by 2 is 130. So from this we can find out very easily 140 and 160. So 150 is in between, 170, 190. This is the corresponding frequencies which is already given, 12, 14, 8, 6, 10, that is written. Now what is this DI? DI is written a deviation where we are trying to reduce this XI, and this formula is DI is XI minus A, where A is nothing but assumed mean. A is the assumed mean, and this assumed mean we usually take the middle one. So here we have assumed A as 150. So if it is odd number, then the middle number we can find easily. You will ask, what about the even number? If it is even number, you can take any of the, either the middle one, any of the number you can select and take as A. The answer will not differ, it will remain the same. So here when you have taken A is 150, the formula for DI is XI minus A. So A is 150, XI is this. So 110 minus 150 will give you minus 40. 130 minus 150, since the number 150 is bigger, so minus 20. 150 minus 150 is 0. 170 minus 150 will give you 20. Here is positive because 170 is bigger. 190 minus 150 is 40. After that the same procedure. Now see, from 3 digit we have reduced to 2 digit. Then now we will do FIDI. So we will multiply this. So FIDI multiplication. So 12 into minus 4, you know it is 48. So minus 480. 14 into minus 20 will be minus 280. Now see, we know 14 to 0. So this calculation has become very simple. 8 into 0, 0. 6 into 20, 120. And 10 into 40 is 400. Now we will take the summation of FIDI and summation FI. So we already, it is given that is 50 workers. So we know this is summation FI is given as 50. Summation FRDI we will add. So since it is positive, so we have got 520, and by adding this minus is plus, so 480 plus 280 will give you minus 760 because subtraction. The minus 760 plus 520 will give you minus 240. Therefore, the formula for standard deviation method, that is mean, equals to A plus summation FIDI upon summation FI. So mean is 150 we have taken, plus here minus summation FIDI minus 240 upon 50. So here of the calculation, here if 0 cancel, so 24 divided by 5 is 4.8. So 150 minus 4.8, you are getting 145.2. Thus the mean daily wage of the workers is equal to rupees 145.20. This standard deviation method is useful when the numbers are bigger. The third question, the following distribution shows the daily pocket allowance of a children of a locality. The mean pocket allowance is rupees 18. Find the missing frequencies. So now in this case, see the question. Here the numbers are small, it's 2 digit, and you have to find the missing frequency. So we can go by direct method. But again, for finding by direct method, you have to find out what is xi in each case and do the same procedure. Here the thing is given, that is, let's see the given, that mean pocket allowance is given. So x bar is already given to us. So here the value of the midpoint, no, this is not midpoint, this is actually x bar is given us. X bar is already given as 18, and we know x bar formula is summation fi xi upon summation fi. Now here we have written the class interval. The frequency is given. Now for the first thing we have to use, since it is direct method, so 4 columns. So xi we will find 11 to 13. So we know the upper limit plus lower limit 24. 13 plus 11, 24 divided by 2, that is 12. So here we can 13 to 15, the midpoint here it is 14. 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 is the xi. Next column we'll find fi xi. So fi xi is 7 into 12, 84, 6 into 14, 84, 9 into 16, 144, 13 into 18, 234, f into 20 f, 5 into 22, 110, 4 into 24, 96. So we have found out what is fi xi. Now the total summation fi xi will find out when we add 20f cannot be added as it is not like term, right? F is there, here variable is there. So all the numbers when you add together, you get 752 plus 20f. Similarly, when you add all the numbers, f will remain separately. The rest of the numbers 7 plus 6 plus 9 plus 13 plus 5 plus 4 will give you 44 plus f. We apply the formula mean equals to summation fi xi upon summation fi. Mean you all know that it is given as 18. So 18 equals to 752 plus 20f upon 44 plus f. Now this 44 plus f will go to the LHS. So if it goes, it will become multiply. So for 18 into 44 plus f equal to 752 plus 20f. Let's remove the bracket. So when you remove the bracket, 18 into 44 is 792. 792 plus 18f equal to this. Let's collect the like term. You can take 18f to the RHS and 752 LHS. So the sign will change when you take 20f minus 18f and 752 minus 52. So you are left with 40 equal to 2f. Therefore f is 40 divided by 2, that is 20. So the missing frequency here in this case is 20. So the next sum, here fruit vendors are selling mangoes kept in a packing boxes. These boxes contain varying number of mangoes, and the following was the distribution of mangoes according to the number of boxes. Now since see the numbers, it is in 2 digit, and you can find the frequencies is 3 digit. So definitely we can go by standard deviation assume mean method for finding the mean. Now here you find a peculiar sum. This is as the classes are not continuous. We have 50 to 52, 53 to 55, 56 to 58, 59 to 61. These types of classes are said to be inclusive type, and the classes are not continuous. So the next question comes, is it necessary to make classes continuous, or will it make differences? So to show you specially, here the class is not continuous. So let's understand what will happen. Now you all know how to make the class continuous. To make the class continuous, we know that we take the difference between the lower limit and the preceding upper limit. Lower limit and the preceding upper limit. So 53 minus 52, that is 1 divided by 2. So we get 0.5. So we add 0.5 to the upper limit and subtract 0.5 to the lower limit, and such we can find that we make the classes continuous. Okay, so once we make the class continuous, here we get, so 0.5 we are subtracting from the lower limit, adding 0.5 to the upper limit. Here we are subtracting 0.5, adding 0.5, and thus the class is making continuous. Now after making the class continuous, if I want to find the xi is upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. So 52.5 plus 49.5. So when I do 52.5 plus 49.5, here I get here 10, here 10, 11, 12, so here 9, 102. So 102 divided by 2, I get 51. So what about if I don't make the class continuous? Will it make change in the class mark? Check out. So 50 to 51, the class mark is, again you will get, when you add, you are getting 102, and 102 divided by 2 will give you again 51. So in the mean, it is not compulsory to make the class continuous, whereas for mode and median it is compulsory, the class should be continuous. Okay, here the continuous class is not, it's not compulsorily necessary. So here the class mark is 51, 54, 57, 60, 63. So just to show that even if it is not continuous, how it will happen, because it is customary. For mean, not necessary the classes should be continuous. Here the frequency is given. Standard deviation method, the formula DI you all know, xi minus a. So a is a middle one, we are there to reduce this xi. So the middle number is 57, so for a is 57. So we will take xi, that is 51 minus 57, that is minus 6, 54 minus 57, that is minus 3, 57 minus 57, 0, 60 minus 57 is 3, 63 minus 57 is 6. Now here it is positive and here we are getting negative since 57 is become. Now again next column FIDI. So we will multiply 15 into minus 6, that is minus 90, 11 3s are 33, so minus 330, 31, 35 into 0, 0, 115 into 3, 345, here 25 into 6 is 150. So when we have to find the summation FIDI, we will take first the positive terms. When we add, we get 495. Here when we add minus 420, so 495 minus 420 will give you 75. And you all know summation Fi is, we are getting as 400. So the formula for mean is A plus summation FIDI upon summation Fi. That is 57 plus 75 upon 400. 75 upon 400, if you divide separately, usually it is better to match your answer with the answer key of the board. It is better that you just do this separately and add with this integral value. So 75 divided by 400, you are getting 0.81875, and therefore when you round out, you will get 57.1875, which is approximately equal to 57.19. Thus mean number of boxes that is kept in a packing box is 57.19.